Welcome back, you lovely bunch. I hope you're all doing good. Thanks for tuning in again. This is a video that I've meant to do for quite some time, but honestly, I don't know, regular viewers will know that I don't like doing these sit at home chatting to the camera vlogs. I prefer going out, having a ride and having a chat to you. So a lot of you guys ask me about my bikes, my different bikes, and I never really have them all out at the same time or in the same place and give you guys a proper look at them. So today, that's basically it. This is my bike collection. It's not really a collection. I mean, I suppose it is. I'm really lucky. I've got some really good sponsors, so I've managed to kit out my bikes a little bit above their standard spec. So I figured I might as well just talk you through a few of them. Right, so here they all are. I've got them all in the same room. So I've got 6 here. I've also got a BMX downstairs, and I am waiting for a new road bike as well, so that will be 7. Some of them will go back to Marin and they'll be swapped for other ones. So I figured I might as well do this before everything changes. And I figured it would be nice just to sit down and have a chat about my bikes, my favourites, why I've got them, and etc. So let's crack on. Right, so I'm not going to go madly in detail over every bike because honestly guys, it'd be here all day. If there's anything I can rabbit on about for hours, it's bikes. Well actually it's pretty much anything, but bikes especially. So I'm going to give you a quick look at each one. First one is, this is my State Undefeated track bike. So this one's been repainted. I went for a very subtle paint scheme as you can see, and it's not perfect, but it's quite nice. I suppose I'll run through a quick setup. It's a track bike, there's not a lot to it. So I've set up carbon bars, they're 42 centimetres wide. I have 110mm Zip Sprint SL Sprint stem. Slammed, obviously, to rear my back. Wheels wise, I've got Stayer 60mm deep carbon rims, and they're laced to DT Swiss hubs. And I'm rocking the Goodyear Vector 4 Seasons tyres. Nice size actually, really like the size. So it's just a random cheap seat post from Crank Bros and a random saddle. So do we run a fabric scoop, I think it is. And that's like my standard saddle on pretty much all of my bikes, and I just don't have enough. You know? I've got too many bikes, not enough saddles. SRAM Omnium crankset. So I'm using this bike a lot on the rollers at the moment, so I'm running a 48 up the front and a 14 on the rear. And yes, I do know that my wheel is kind of quite far out of my drops, but I'm only riding it on rollers, so it's pretty chill. And then as far as power meter goes, actually I use a set of power tap pedals for this, and it gives me my power reading, all that sort of data. So I use this when I'm racing or when I'm on Zwift. Awesome. Right, next one. This is my Specialized Sprint and a disc. I don't know, it's got lots of word. It's the aluminium Specialized Sprint, and it's a disc brake version. As you can see, it is filthy, so I apologise. It's ridden, and this is kind of my winter bike at the moment. So I know I'm getting a nice new road bike. So this just turned into my winter bike at the moment, and it's getting abused, and I really need to clean it. So apologies for the absolute filth. But again, awesome custom paint job by yours truly. Don't look very closely because, you know, it looks better from a distance, you know. See, look, awesome! I'm running Goodyear Eagle F1 tubeless tyres on spin on knees, 40mm deep carbon rims. I've got an aero carbon bar that's 40 centimetres wide, but I can't remember who makes it, so apologies, but it's just a nice aero bar. I really like aero bars. And I feel like it takes a lot more of the vibrations out than a round bar. Maybe it's just in your head, but that's what it feels like for me. So I'm running SRAM Red E-Tap on it, which is mint. I've got to admit, I really do like it. But I will say, the shifting on E-Tap is slightly slower than when you use like SRAM cable or like Shimano cable. I'm going to be running Di2 on my new road bike, so I'm interested to see like the actual shift speed. I know on the new Axis you can adjust that speed, but that's my only flaw, I'd say, with actually the SRAM Red, is that it can be a bit slow shifting down and up the gears. I mean, we're talking like a tiny bit, but you know, if I'm nitpicking. Fabric scoop saddle with tie rails and another set of power tap pedals. Oh yeah, frame size. So my frame sizes are a 56. You know, I'm between a 56 and a 58, so I rock a 56. But anyway, this is the road bike. So this next one, I love this bike. This actually has to go back, and I'm gonna have to say now, look, I stole the headset out of it for the giveaway bike, and I never actually replaced it. So I probably need to put a new headset in it before I send it back to Marin. So this is their steel frame, more kind of touring setup. I use this fully for commuting. As you can see, it has these awesome plastic, I don't know, composite, something tri-spoke wheels by Spengle. These wheels weigh a ton, I'm going to be honest. The bike is already heavy, so whatever. But it's just a complete work machine. This is what I use in the worst weather. It's been ridden through like the most brutal puddles, and I love it. You know, you need a bike that you can just abuse, and this is the bike that honestly, when it's really bad weather, this is what gets cracked out. So what Brooks leather saddle on here? Again, really, I'd like to run the fabric, but I don't have enough. So fabric, feel free to send me a box of loads of saddles, because I've run out. But I do like the Brooks. I think it kind of suits, right? It's like a heavy bike and it's got a nice heavy saddle on it, mud guards, everything, meatiness. So it's got a 1x drivetrain, it's got like a 10 to 42 on the rear, it's got a SRAM rival group set on it, 650B wheels actually at the moment. It gives me more mud guard clearance. I mean, honestly, I don't think the wheels really go with the frame. I'd like to run like a 700C, I think. So this is my do-it-all bike. I will have to send it back to Marin. It's got a random pipe cleaner on it for, I don't know, no reason at all. Child probably put that there, so let's just leave it. It's a great bike though, you know, like I've done like long bike packing trips on it, I've done cycle touring, I've had like panniers on it, I've had frame bags on it, I've had the kid on it on a bike seat. I mean, it's just a good do-it-all frame. The Marin Four Corners. Right, so the next one is the Marin Casio. This is my steel frame gravel bike, I love it. Currently running 650B wheels, and then the 50mm Goodyear connectors on there. I love it, I love this setup. So I'm rocking an extra saddle, so this lets me get really aero in that like suicide UCI band position. Really helps out, and these extra feet straps, you know, to get all tucked up in there. Honestly though, this is Mac Ride. It is for my daughter. It's an awesome little bit of kit. Like it attaches up here at the front and just here on the seat post, and she can just hop on and hop off. So it's a SRAM rival group set. It's got Stayer 650B wheels. They're laced to DT Swiss hubs again. The Stayer DT Swiss combo is so nice. It's on so many of my bikes. So it's a bit of a fun do-it-all bike. You know, it's really good for gravel, it's really good for like just commuting to work on. I use it a lot, like I said, to take the kid out. But my dream for this build would be to set it up with a full Di2 group set and maybe run a double, and I'm all like one bike, but maybe run like, you know, the GRX 2x Di2 group set. That would be the dream. So I've been rocking flat pedals on it because, you know, when I'm riding with a kid, it's just quite nice. And actually, I quite like flat pedals. Might do a flat pedal versus clipping pedal video. Let me know if you'd be interested. So I do switch wheel sizes. Sometimes I'm 700, other times I'm 650. But I've got my monster truck tyres on and they don't actually fit in this frame. So at the moment, the 50mm are still on the Headlands. So I guess we should check out the Headlands. This is my favourite bike. This is the Marin Headlands. I think it's the Headlands 2 or 1. Headlands 2. As stock, it comes really nice. So I haven't actually had to make that many changes to it. I mean, I've changed my saddle to a fabric ALM. This is like their carbon, top of the range. I mean, it looks pretty uncomfortable, but it's lovely. I love it. Unfortunately, when you flip your bike though, I end up chipping the carbon quite a lot. So I've kind of ruined it. Might be time for a new one soon. As standard, the bike does come with a GRX group set apart from the crank. So I did change the crank set to a GRX one, and that has got an in-peak power meter on it as well. So, and also massive thanks to in-peak for the power meter, because it is amazing. And honestly, it's really nice to have power on gravel. So 700C Stayer rims, I think they're 40mm, and they're laced to DT Swiss again. And Goodyear connector, 50mm. Awesome meaty tyres that actually I'm going to change for the 40mm, because whilst I like the 50, I switch my wheels between my bikes a lot, and basically it means that the 50mm only fit in this frame, and I want to be able to run these wheels in that other frame. So, and realistically on this I want to run 650s at the moment. I'm kind of like in that mindset. Bit about the frame: full carbon frame set, full carbon fork. I'm running a 110mm stem. I've got flared bars, I think they're 44 at the top and something bigger at the bottom. No idea what it is. I love the Headlands. It's my favourite frame. It really is. It's such an awesome bike, and I've just given it so much abuse. I'm just really looking forward to taking it for more shreds. I love it. It's an awesome frame. If you guys do want to know more about the bikes or like any questions, etc., just hit me up in the comments and maybe I can answer them. Fingers crossed. I'll try. I've only got one bike left to show you, and that is my full Susser mountain bike. So I suppose let's get that out. This thing is humongous, isn't it? Like absolutely gigantic. I'm gonna have to move you guys back to show you it properly. Marin Mount Vision 8, full carbon frame. It's got this nailed, I think it's called, like suspension system. So as you can see, it's got like this other suspension bit in there and in there, and I'm a gravel and road bike rider. I've got no idea about suspension, but apparently it's got really good tracking, and when someone at mountain bikes rides behind me, they tell me that my back wheel stays planted over really rough stuff, and honestly you can feel it. I just don't really understand all the jargon behind like suspension and linkage, and you know, like I know a little bit, but it's pretty complicated, right? But anyway, it feels nice and I like it. But in fact, it's going back to Marin, and I'm going to switch it up for something I think a bit more aggressive actually. This has got the Goodyear Newton tyres on, Newton front and rear. It's got a Stansflow wheel set on it. I haven't really changed much. I changed the saddle to my fabric scoop as per usual. So actually it has like Shimano brakes and it has SRAM gears. So that's quite interesting. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure like there was a few issues with the SRAM mountain bike brakes a while ago, so I'm guessing when they made this frame, maybe they opted for Shimano because they're just a bit more efficient and easier to service. Like from what I remember, SRAM can be a bit awkward. Full susser, it's got some travel, I don't know, it's got some travel at the front and some travel at the back. I'm not a mountain biker, I've got no idea, but it's bouncy, and when I ride down the hill, it doesn't feel as bouncy as if I didn't have suspension. But this bike is the bike that I think I'm going to use to tackle the climb that me and Juliet raced up in the last vlog. I'll be using this. I think she's got an Alpine trail, so we'll see who will win. So I think it's like a 10 to a 52 in the rear or something, so like that 52 tooth and tiny sprocket I've got there on the front should be absolutely fine, and maybe I'll get up it. But anyway, this is my mountain bike, the Marin Vision 8. I'm probably the worst person at talking through these bikes, and it's just been a long load of drivel for the last few minutes. That's all my bikes. As you can see, I don't think I've got that many. I mean, 6 isn't a lot, right? I mean, essentially I've got like 2 gravel bikes, a track bike, a mountain bike, and a touring bike, and a road bike. Did I mention road bike? I've basically got 1 for each discipline, and I ride multiple disciplines, so I think that's fair. Until soon, when I'll have 2 road bikes. And I suppose if you can, I've kind of got 3 gravel bikes. And I really want a new track bike. So I do hope you enjoyed this little look at my bikes, my little collection of steeds. So fingers crossed, I'll be able to travel with these bikes soon, and I can go on some actual proper adventures and not just do local loops. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have an awesome week, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.